Subscribe to my channel Report Stock.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack the stories behind the science, those moments that really bring you closer to transformations in medicine. Just think about when really groundbreaking research finally gives real, tangible hope to patients, especially with diseases like cancer. That's what we focus on. And today, we're diving into something that, well, it could be one of those pivotal shifts in treatment. Our focus for this deep dive is the latest news from Theriva Biologics. We're going to zero in on their innovative therapeutic, VCN-01. That's Zablogene Omadevorepvec, quite a name, and it's really significant progress in recent clinical trials.
That's right. And our mission today, it's really to go beyond just the headlines, the press releases, the financial figures from Theriva's Q2 results. We want to uncover what this positive top-line data for VCN-01 truly means, not just for the company, but for the future of cancer treatment, particularly in areas where patient needs are just incredibly high and options are limited. We'll look at the science, it's cutting-edge stuff, the trial outcomes, and the financial context too.
So whether you're really into the mechanics of medical breakthroughs, or maybe you track the biotech sector, or you're just curious about the journey of discovery, this deep dive is designed to give you clarity, those aha moments. Let's get started. Okay, so let's jump right into the big news from Theriva's second quarter. They reported positive top-line data from their VIRAGE Phase 2b study of VCN-01. Now, when we hear positive top-line data, especially for something as tough as metastatic pancreatic cancer, what exactly are we talking about? What does that mean?
Well, what's really striking here is the scale of the success. VCN-01, used together with standard chemogemcitabine and nab-paclitaxel, it actually achieved its main survival and safety goals in these metastatic pancreatic cancer patients. And to put that in perspective, getting any statistically significant bump in overall survival for metastatic pancreatic cancer, or PDAC, that's pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma, it's a particularly aggressive, devastating form, that's incredibly rare. So these patients, the ones getting VCN-01 plus the standard chemo, they showed increased overall survival, progression-free survival, and duration of response compared to chemo alone. This really signals, potentially a paradigm shift, not just a small step in an area with such profound unmet medical need.
Increased overall survival, progression-free survival, duration of response. Yeah, those are the big ones in oncology, the gold standards. So with data that strong, what do you think is the biggest hurdle for Theriva now? Scaling up for phase 3, maybe? Clinically? Manufacturing?
That's a critical question, absolutely. The company is preparing a study protocol now for a potential phase 3 trial. The challenges, it's not just enrolling patients for a larger trial, it's also significantly advancing the manufacturing scale-up for VCN-01. They're using their own proprietary suspension cell line for this, and GMP scale-up activities, well, that means making the drug at the quality and quantity needed for bigger trials, and eventually, maybe commercialization. It's complex, logistically, scientifically. They've also, smartly I think, started strategic outreach to find potential partners for late-stage development. Makes sense for a company their size to manage those scaling challenges.
Yeah, okay.
We should expect more detailed data from VIRAGE at the European Society for Medical Oncology ESMO, their 2025 Congress in October.
That's definitely something to look forward to, especially for pancreatic cancer patients. But VCN-01 isn't just about pancreatic cancer, is it? You mentioned other possibilities like retinoblastoma.
That's correct, yeah. While pancreatic cancer is a major focus right now, VCN-01 is also showing some encouraging potential in retinoblastoma. That's a rare eye cancer, mainly affects children. Safety and clinical outcome data from a phase 1 study, this was in refractory retinoblastoma patients, that was presented back at ASCO 2025. This early data is important because it kind of highlights the broad applicability potentially of VCN-01's underlying tech across different cancers.
Right, and this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Understanding how VCN-01 actually works inside the body, how it targets these difficult cancers. It's not just another drug, is it?
It really isn't, and that brings up its unique mechanism. VCN-01 is what we call a systemically administered oncolytic adenovirus. You can think of it like a specially engineered virus. It's designed to do 3 key things at once, right inside the tumor. First, it selectively and pretty aggressively replicates within tumor cells. This directly leads to their destruction, or lysis.
So it's like a smart bomb. It only goes after cancer cells and then multiplies inside them to blow them up, essentially.
Precisely. That's a good way to put it. And that's just part one of its, elegant design. If you think about how tumors resist treatment, VCN-01 also degrades the tumor stroma. The stroma is basically this dense, fibrous stuff that builds up around and inside tumors. It's like a shield.
Okay.
Yeah, it acts as a major physical barrier, and it's immunosuppressive too. It makes it incredibly hard for standard treatments, even the body's own immune cells, to actually reach the cancer cells. So by breaking down this barrier, VCN-01 lets co-administered chemo get in better access, better perfusion, makes the chemo much more effective.
Wow, that's clever. So it's not just killing cancer cells itself, it's helping other treatments work better, like a biological prep team softening up the defenses before the main assault.
Exactly, a prep team, I like that. And there's a third crucial effect. VCN-01 increases tumor immunogenicity. By lysing those tumor cells, it basically unmasks them. It exposes tumor antigens. This makes the tumor more visible, flags it for the patient's own immune system. And importantly, for any co-administered immunotherapy drugs, what's fascinating is that because it's given systemically, like through an IV, VCN-001 can do all this in the primary tumor and in distant metastases. That's absolutely vital for advanced cancers. It really has multiple anti-tumor effects working together.
That multifaceted approach, it sounds incredibly powerful. Okay, shifting gears a bit. From a financial angle, how have these clinical successes hit Theriva Biologics? Because, a major win in Phase 2B for a cancer like pancreatic cancer, that must have significant ripple effects for the company, right?
It certainly does. The financial results, they clearly reflect the impact of this milestone, but maybe not in the way you'd first guess. For instance, their general and administrative expenses, G&A, saw a big jump in the second quarter of 2025. A large chunk of that, over $9 million, is directly tied to an increase in the fair value of something called a contingent consideration adjustment.
Contingent consideration, what's that exactly?
It's not just higher running costs, it's more like a built-in financial commitment. It shows how confident Theriva's original investors or partners were in VCN-01 right from the start. It's triggered by hitting a key development goal. So it's basically a cost that reflects success, a strong vote of confidence baked into their finances.
Okay, so that big jump in expenses is actually a good sign. It shows they hit a major target, not just that they're spending more cash.
That's exactly right. And interestingly, their R&D expenses actually decreased slightly this quarter. That's mainly because the VIRAGE trial was wrapping up. But the company anticipates R&D costs will ramp up significantly now. They're planning for that potential Phase 3 trial, advancing the retinoblastoma program, and expanding those really crucial GMP scale-up manufacturing activities for VCN-01 we talked about. Their cash position, they had over $12 million in cash and equivalents at the end of June 2025. And they expect that cash runway to last into the first quarter of 2026. So the financial position reflects a company that's poised, ready to invest in the next big steps, riding this clinical success.
Okay, great. Let's try to bring it all together then. Recap the core insights from this deep dive. First, the really positive top-line data for VCN-01 and metastatic pancreatic cancer from that VIRAGE Phase 2B trial. That's a huge step, showing increased survival, better response with standard chemo. Second, its potential isn't just pancreatic cancer. We saw promising early data in retinoblastoma too. And finally, the really innovative part, how VCN-01 works, that multifaceted mechanism, replicating in tumors, clearing pathways, boosting chemo access, waking up the immune system. It's genuinely cutting edge, a new therapeutic avenue.
And for you, the listener, I think understanding these kinds of advancements gives you a vital perspective. It shows how biotech is evolving, how it's finding ways to combat some of the absolute toughest diseases. These aren't just tiny steps, they can be significant leaps, offering new hope through targeted innovative therapies that can even work with existing treatments. It's really a testament to dedicated research, and it gives us an exciting glimpse into, well, the future of oncology.
Absolutely. It kind of leads me to a final thought for you to reflect on. Given VCN-01's impressive success in combination with standard chemo, does this maybe suggest a future where the most effective cancer treatments will increasingly rely on these kinds of powerful, synergistic combinations? Innovative biotherapeutics paired with established approaches. Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Theriva Biologics and the exciting progress of VCN-01. We'll see you next time.
Subscribe to my channel Report Stock.